Comparing potential sources of media and information involves evaluating their strengths, weaknesses, accessibility, reliability, and biases. Here's a breakdown of how different sources stack up. Indigenous sources. Let's start with their strengths. Cultural authenticity provides a deep, authentic understanding of indigenous cultures, histories, and worldviews. Oral accuracy, often preserved and transmitted with high fidelity within communities. Community trust, highly respected within the community. Now let's look at the weaknesses. Limited reach, may not be widely accessible outside the community. Documentation, often not well documented or standardized, leading to challenges in broader dissemination. And finally, the biases. Cultural perspective reflects specific cultural views, which might not be universally applicable. Library sources. Moving on to their strengths: credibility, generally reliable, well-researched, and peer-reviewed materials. Comprehensive access to a wide range of subjects, including rare or specialized topics, organized, well-categorized, and easy to search with the help of librarians. Now the weaknesses. Accessibility: physical libraries may be less accessible in remote or underserved areas. Up-to-date information, books, and periodicals may not reflect the most current information or trends. And the biases. Academic bias can lean toward established academic perspectives, potentially excluding emerging or alternative viewpoints. Internet sources. Strengths: accessibility, widely available and easy to access from anywhere with an internet connection. Timeliness: information can be updated in real time, offering the latest news and developments. Diversity of perspectives. A vast array of viewpoints, including marginalized voices. Weaknesses: reliability. The quality of information can vary greatly, with misinformation and biased content being common. Information overload. The sheer volume of data can be overwhelming and difficult to sift through. Biases: algorithmic bias. Search engines and social media platforms may prioritize content based on user behavior, potentially reinforcing existing biases. Broadcast media like TV and radio. Strengths: widespread reach, accessible to a broad audience, including those without internet access. Timely updates, provides real-time news and information. Visual and auditory learning, engages multiple senses, making information more accessible. Weaknesses: limited depth. News segments are often brief and may lack detailed analysis. One-way communication. Viewers and listeners cannot interact with the content or creators directly. Biases: corporate or political bias. Ownership and funding sources can influence the content and perspectives presented. Print media, including newspapers and magazines. Strengths: in-depth analysis. Provides detailed reporting, analysis, and investigative journalism. Credibility: established newspapers and magazines often adhere to journalistic standards. Archival value: print media can be preserved and accessed as historical records. Weaknesses: declining reach. The audience for print media is shrinking as digital media grows. Timeliness: print publications may not be as up-to-date as digital or broadcast media. Biases: editorial bias. The editorial stance of a publication can influence its coverage and perspective. Documentaries and films. Strengths: engaging storytelling, combines visual and narrative elements to make complex topics accessible. Educational, can provide deep insights into specific topics, often with expert commentary. Weaknesses: time-consuming, requires a time commitment to watch. Production bias: the creator's perspective and choices heavily influence the portrayal of the subject. Biases: narrative bias. The need to craft a compelling story may lead to the omission or oversimplification of facts.